In the top right corner, we have Raz, probably answering a question from Zero, as the red Protoss. And in the bottom left corner, as the blue Zerg, we have our very own BSL host, Zero. Don't know much about Raz. All I know is he was added to the team as one of the last final additions. He played in Nazo 3, didn't qualify for the North American tournament, wasn't one of the final 16. I think on ladder I've seen he's around 2100, so quite comfortably A rank and Zero. Everyone knows Zero. I don't think he plays as much as the other players. He's busy with his life and organizing good events. But here he is representing Portland again. Strong player, especially in ZVP. He's making an overlord. Not going to see a 9 pull from him. And Raz keeping his probe at his natural. Likely going to be a gateway expand. You see the probe heading out after making the gateway. Was a 9 gate from Raz. Just the fastest gateway possible. 2-player map, so you know where the Zerg is. But this rust distance is a little bit longer. This is a very common 11 hatch map. Because this overlord never saw. Actually, Zero going for a 12 pull. So this is a little bit curious already. Maybe this is what he does. Maybe he likes to go 12 pull in ZVP. Probe gonna get in. And we're gonna see a gas. So interesting from Zero already. 12 pull gas against 1 gate. Probe harassing the Nat. Natural drone going towards the Nat. And looks like, is he gonna deny it? Looks like he is gonna die. There's a now. Now the probe has lost all of his shield, so it shouldn't hang around too much. This is really gonna throw Zerg off a little bit, just having this hatchery delayed this long. And the first Zala is already heading out across the map. Now Zero is going for gas. And he's actually making the hatchery at his natural part of a Sim City for later, not taking a 3rd base. So this is going to really hurt his economy in the mid game, going for gas this quick, and on top of that, not taking a 3rd base with his 3rd hatch. First 6 lings being produced, and Zero just getting enough for 100 gas. Now Raz moving out with his first Zealot, but he's got to be careful here. This is going to be a fast speed from Zero. He did go for gas really quickly. And even though it was a 12 pull, means his lings are going to be slightly delayed. He's got to be careful. Zero still producing lings, already up to 6 with 4 more on the way. Alright, looks like there was a slight pause just before the action started. 2 Zolots and a probe do beat 6 lings, so he has to be careful. Gotta wait for these Zolot lings to pop out. Lings have popped out, but he's not bringing them towards 9. Looks like a warrant rallied. Drone very low on health. Looks like this fight is happening just below this. Looks like the Raz is gonna take a good engagement here. Already killed off 3 lings. Nope, looks like Zero defends this easily. 2 Zolots and the probe go out, but look how many lings Zero made. Raz already has his Nexus on the way. Even before Zero's hatchery goes down at the Nat. So this is actually a disastrous start for Zero. He's going to be very low on economy and not going to be able to mine from his natural at all. He's actually still making links, so a very big commitment here. Now let's look at this wall. This wall isn't going to complete, and speed is already done for Zero. So Raz is in big trouble. Looks like just barely. Nope. Zealot moves to attack Zerglings. What happened? Cannon goes down instantly. Now Zero's got to be careful. He shouldn't engage here. He should use the speed from his Zerglings to get into the main. Looks like he's not. Does kill off 2 of the Zealots, but these Lings need to get economic damage done. They need to get into the base. Looks like they're going to get caught now by the probe transfer. Cannon finally goes down. Zero's still making Lings, He has a window here, a window of opportunity to do a ton of damage here if you can just get into the main. Lings at the front. Hitting the gateway. He can engage the probe and Zealot. It's going to be very hard for him. Looks like one of the Zealots goes down. There's still 1 Zealot left, but the cannon not quite done yet. Zero trying to wrap around, get into the main. That would be... Oh, looks like he's trying to split. He's splitting off the attention of the probes, trying to get up to the ramp. trying to get this cannon desperately. If the cannon goes down, then he's going to have more time to get damage done with these links. He's still only on 2 hatcheries. Third hatch was very delayed. Third hatch just finishes now. So if he's going to go all in, this is his time to keep producing links with 3 hatchery production. No cannon down. You can see Protoss is barely mining himself. Only has 6 probes on minerals. Using the rest for defense here. Critically, Zero hasn't gotten into the main. If he can get into the main with speedlings and divert the attention of the Protoss, then this front will be completely exposed. Looks like the link's just getting in. He's gonna try to get up to ramp. Nope. Not really sure. Alright, just maneuvering here, posturing a little bit. Does have more links at the front. They should be attacking the gateway. This cannon is about to finish, and once this cannon is done, then the attack should be done for Zero. Zero's still only making links, and the cannon just finishes. Unfortunately, these links, the AI of these links brings them towards the cannon, and now I think Raz has defended. Whoa. Oh, looks like his mouse fucked up just there. Link's trying to get on top of the cannon. Nope, just running by. Raz just barely blocks a little. Only 3 speedlings, 4 speedlings get into the main. And you see Zero finally deciding, okay, it's time to drone. I think I did enough. And I think he actually did do enough. Unfortunately, he does have 3 hatcheries on 2 base. Looks like a drone is going to head now to take a third. Looks like some of these drones are rallied. Really wants to keep these lings alive for as long as possible, even if they get no probe damage done. Just forcing pulls from the lings or from the probes will be enough. Lings wrapping around, running. Say there's a probe out on the map that's going to be important to scout. Raz doesn't know what Zero's up to. Looks like Zero actually made even more links. Is there a wall here? Looks like, I don't know if this one's all it blocks, but this is a complete wall here at the bottom. Cybernetics core on the way. There's the probe. Scouting the drone heading towards the third base. Decent drone count from Zero. We have 1 on gas. Link's very low on health now. And the probe gets all the way into the main. Now, because Raz sees how far behind Zero's tech is, he should know that he's in an okay position now. He did suffer a lot. Oh, looks like we had a rallied drone heading towards the front and a rallied Overlord. This is all painful damage to take in Zerg. Zero's just now recovering slowly. But you can see Raz's tech is actually quite fast compared to Zero. Zero still doesn't have anything other than drones and lings. 4th hatch at the third base. +1 started for Raz, and looks like he's just gonna go for Citadel, skipping Stargate altogether. Going up to 3 gateways and a Citadel. He's moving out now, but this is a bit risky. Looks like he just poked out to force a reaction from Zero and retreat. So smart move from Raz. Don't really want to commit with your Zala move outs before you have +1 speed against a Zerg that already has speedlings on the map. They're just +1 started, and this will be slightly off, but it'll coincide with the +1, the speed Zealot, and +1. 5th hatch and lair. Hydrogen going down for Zero. Now, because there's no Stargate, and this is... Actually, no, I don't know. Zero can do anything here. You can see he droned up considerably. The speedlings did provide him map control, and because there's no Seri, he doesn't have to worry. He doesn't have to rush Hydras to defend. Has focused on just droning up this entire time. Actually going for Hydra speed. I was thinking he was gonna go Lurker or maybe Spire with this lair, but no, looks like he's just gonna defend with Link sunken and then get Hydras to follow up. The archive's already down for Raz. You can see this is a 9-minute archives, but because of how the early game went, it's fine. Zero already adding creeps. We have 1 Dragoon made. This Dragoon is just gonna be used to kill off the scouting Overlord. Zero droned up considerably, but now he's gonna make a couple creeps at each base just to help defend from the speed law timing. You can see his Hydra upgrades are extremely late, only gonna have speed at around 10 minutes and then start range. No evolution chamber quite yet. Drone count is looking good. Only on 5 hatcheries yet still. But Protoss is only on 4 gateways. Here comes the first Zealot move out. 11 Zealots already has to be +1 will finish by the time they get to Zerg base. Zerg has to be careful here. But with good SimCity at the natural and a ramp at his third, it's going to be pretty easy to defend. So it's going to have a hard time going up a ramp like this. Alright, range on the way for 0. Still no evolution chamber, so critically Raz already has +1 upgrade. He's getting Storm now. He's missing a couple gateways. We should see them added pretty soon. And the Zealot's trying to get into ramp. Looks like we had a drone drill forced, but not much else was done. Looks like we lost a couple drones there. The 11 Zealots are still alive. Ooh, here getting a good surround on these Hydras. Looks like none of the Hydras actually go down, but they do get very bruised up. And there we go. 5th and 6th gateways being added. There's a robo from Raz. Looks like Storm is on the way. And this will transition into a normal game after that opening, but let's see who stands ahead. So Zero's evolution chamber is quite late. We already have +2 started for Protoss. Zero also only has the 4 hatcheries, or 5 hatcheries, no 6 quite yet. Raz trying to take this third, but very ambitious to take a third before you have any kind of anti-muta or anti-lurker. There's a lurker being researched by Zero. He's making drones and an evolution chamber with a spire. And here comes the 6th hatchery. Raz meanwhile just powering up, still making only Zealot High Templar. Does have that one earlier Dragoon. Don't really need to switch into Dragoons that fast against Zerg when they commit to Hydras this heavily. Third gas already done for 0. Not mining it quite yet. In the earlier match, you saw Barkeryu lose, in part because his third gas was quite late. He was only able to add 2 or 3 lurkers at a time to his army. Three cannons going down to defend the third base. And actually, I missed this second forge from Raz. This is very common now. I always see 2 forging Protosses. The second forge makes it a lot stronger. Your army a lot stronger against Hydra Mass. Getting that armor critically. It's like, oh, Hydra's trying to get the High Templars. Looks like 7 HP left. A couple of Hydra shots. Finally, it does go down. But this is just too many High Templars left over. Forcing out the storms early like this is good, as long as you don't lose too many Hydras. Hydra's just moving forward for storm. Ooh, kind of trying to dodge there, but still losing a significant number of Hydras. Looks like a lurker egg at the back. Distracted some of the units. I think Zero's in trouble. Third gas started in mining, but Raz's third base is already up. Zero doesn't have overlord speed quite yet, and these evolution chambers not both getting upgrades. It's gonna start lagging behind in the upgrades, and when you're going for Hydras like this, you don't want to fall behind in upgrades. Protoss is gonna have 2-1 by the time Zero's 1-0 finishes. Looks like he's gonna try to switch into mutas. We have 1 muta popping out. See, we have 5 mutas. So 5 mutas, not okay. They do manage to get off 2 High Templars. And it does at least force Raz to retreat. You see, Zero doesn't have much in the way of army, only about 2.5 control groups of Hydras. 2 which, I mean, in the open field, they're quite good against Zealot High Templar, but behind chokes like this, they could get stormed easily. Zero actually taking a semi-hidden 4th base. This is a double gas base, but even in ZVP, you don't need 5 gases. You don't need to rush up to gas. I think he's just taking that because it's less likely to be scouted than this base or even 6 o'clock. Raz patiently playing this game. He realizes Zerg is only on 3 base. He's getting his upgrades. Zerg is still on lair tech. There's a Queen Nest finally. This is a ton of Hydras from Zero, but you can see the upgrades. Still 0-0. 1 weapons is about to finish. I like this from Zero, even if he doesn't intend to take this base as his 4th. Just faking out Protoss and leaving a drone here. Protoss will see this and they'll be like, oh, they're going to take their 4th now. And not, or be less likely to keep scouting around the map. Sorry. Pylon here, I guess this was a denial. Trying to deny that base from being taken, or at least scouting for it. And there you have 2-1 down for Raz. Getting weapons 3. Third, fully saturated. Well, actually, lagging a few probes here. Really needs to transfer some from his natural. Raz just maneuvering his army across the map. Trying to take this 4th base while he attacks. Good play. Keeping Zerg's army occupied while you take a base is how you want to play PvZ. Overlord does see it, and we have Zero taking this hidden 4th here, and actually taking 5th as well. Now if Raz is going to play this defensively, just posturing really, not really attacking, then it's good for Zero to play like this. We actually had a storm drop at the natural, gets about 7 drones. DT in the main. Now this is going to pull Zerg's attention into defending, and you can see some of units are going to be out of position. The shuttle unfortunately retreating over where the rally is. Actually escapes. Zero very occupied trying to position his army to defend from this attack. DT does go down. Looks like Zero did suffer a ton of economic damage. We got the 2 mutas from the 5 that were made earlier still alive, but with 2 mutas not going to be able to do much. And Raz again still not attacking, just posturing, really moving his army back and forth. He did hit Zero with a big storm drop there in DT. So his position is actually looking stronger than it was. Not upgrading with the 2nd forge critically here. And he's only have 2 cannons. He's only going to have 2 cannons there at that base. Zero finally joining up his new base. And here we go. Raz actually catching Zero way out of position. Zero's entire army was way out of position here. Finding a weak spot in Zero's defense. And now he's going to get his lurkers moving forward. But they're going to be clumped and they're going to be stormed by these High Templars. Hydra's also stormed. Big storm from Raz, and you can see now there's no lurkers at his natural. Zealot's just moving forward while the Dragoon High Templar army deals with the flanking Zerg. But there's nothing to flank here now from Zero. Just getting his natural torn apart by these Zealots. You see he's bringing a ton of army from the north side of the map, but just really surprised by this maneuver from Raz. Completely caught off guard, had no units in position to defend his nat. Zero's coming into the line. Do we have any storms coming in the line? Do we have any storms? We have a couple storms left over. 4 clump lurkers here. Observer slightly out of position, but there's a storm hitting all the lurkers. Raz transferring probes to his new base. Not macroing or reinforcing this, but looks like he's just going to have too much left over. All the Zealots still alive, running into the main. Zero producing out of all of his hatcheries, but he's already lost his natural, and now this army is in his main. So a ton of Zealots left over. Looks like +2 just gonna finish. And with that, Raz actually keeps expanding, taking more bases on the map, leaving his bases somewhat exposed. But when he's kept Zero occupied with his army and harass, Raz takes the game. GG, and USA is up 1-0. Wow, what a game. Crazy early game from Zero and Raz. And with that, we are 1-0 in favor of USA. We're going to go into game 2, Koget against Jaeyoon ZVT. First ZVT of the day. Alright, in the top left spawn, as the blue Zerg, we have Jaeyoon, representing Team USA. And in the bottom left, as the red Terran from Poland, we have Koget. Map is Fighting Spirit. And here we go. The way it works out, in case anyone is not familiar, when the lineups are sent, players choose the map they want to play on, and then the captain sends the lineup, and then we pair them up with the other team. It's pretty simple, really, and that's how we get Koget and Jaeyoon picking both Fighting Spirit and facing off. Here we have Jaeyoon in the top. Jaeyoon, more than often than not, actually we have Koget walling off. So this is interesting already. This could mean mech play. You can get a link type wall here if you make a barracks in a factory like this. So we could see some kind of mech opening from Koget, or maybe some 1-1-1. Jaeyoon, meanwhile, just getting drones. Probably gonna be a 12 hatch. Don't expect anything else from him, really. And there's the barracks from Koget, and it's actually a 10-10 barracks and gas, so it's gonna be the fastest tech possible. I no longer think this is gonna be mech play. I think he wants to get out of starport, a really fast starport. There's a 12 hatch from Jaeyoon, 12 hatch, 11 pull, not adding any more drones really. Really wants to get that pull out instantly. This helps against any kind of 8 barracks play. It also means that if he's gonna 2 hatch, he's gonna have faster tech. There's the pull, and there's the drone scout from Jaeyoon. He's gonna scout Koget last. Now look how fast this factory is gonna be from Koget. This was a 10 racks, 10 gas. Does hurt his economy a little bit. You can see he's not scouting. He's delaying his scout. He really needs all his SCVs to be mining here. Jaeyoon not going for 2 hatch play. Mixing it up. 2 hatch is way prevalent now, way more prevalent than it was even 2 years ago. Koget skipping the marine, or delaying the marine, and there it is finally. Really wants to maximize his economy. You are cutting SCVs to get your 10-10 up, 10 racks, 10 gas, so not scouting and delaying the marine just to get more SCVs out mining. It's a pretty smart play from him. 3rd hatch from Jaeyoon, and there's the extractor. So 3 hatch from Jaeyoon. Sees the wall. Should know what's up. Now because Koget still has 3 on gas, this isn't going to be factory expand. It's going to be something else. You won't go factory expand with 10-10. It looks like, nope. 2 port wraith. Had the 2 SCVs sent out like that. Now Jaeyoon, because he saw the wall and he saw this mech, we should see like a 330 creep colony being made, and let's see what his follow-up is going to be. Are we going to see lair, or are we going to see a hydra den? There's a creep colony from Jaeyoon. And the first vulture going on, and Koget instantly landing that barracks right back down. Where's his marine actually? I might have missed that. Where's that creep from Jaeyoon? And of course Koget doesn't know where Jaeyoon is. He doesn't know. This is his first cow after all. And here are the 2 wraiths already in production. And we actually have a Hydra den from Jaeyoon, so this is big. Hydras should be able to defend from this wraith. If Jaeyoon were going for a lair, you would only make a couple Hydras to defend from possible wraith with 1-1-1. But you can see he's getting Hydra speed, and he's going to add a ton of Hydras with his army composition. Once his natural is saturated, he should start mixing in those Hydras. And he's going to need an Overlord soon, because this Overlord here is probably going to get picked off. We already have the first Hydra being made. Vulture just scouting to see if there's a 3rd base. Here are the first 2 wraiths out from Koget. 3rd wraith being added, and an add-on. This is going to be for Cloak most likely. Vulture retreating. And here we only have 1 Hydra from Jaeyoon, but he is making more. Red Cap adding a couple more Hydras. Now the wraiths here at the net, see the Hydra pop. Overlords are a bit exposed here. Can't get picked off with good micro. Good move control from Koget, just targeting those Overlords, avoiding the Hydras as much as they can. Hydras don't have speed or range. You can see the maneuverability of the wraiths coming into play. Even though Jaeyoon has the units in, or he need to defend, they're not able to get too many shots off on these wraiths. So 2 Overlords go down. 1 of the drones is left weak. Here comes the 3rd wraith from Koget. 4th and 5th wraith being added. No control or no cloak quite yet. He's getting a bunker. He does have to worry about this counterattack. Koga playing it very safe. We have 3 Hydras here to defend. 3 Wraiths are enough to 2-shot drones. And here comes the 5 Hydra. But the bunker is going to be done in time. We're even getting a tank. Still producing Wraiths. No cloak yet. This is a ton of damage done with the Wraiths. But of course, when you go for a 1-base play with Wraith, you need to get a ton of damage done. There's the bunker complete. Jaeyoon's going to try to get the depot. But he's still in range of the bunker. It looks like he's going to get this depot. The SCV's pull is quite late. Depot goes down, but with 1 tank and SCV still remaining, these Wraiths or these Hydras aren't going to be able to get much done. Five Wraiths left over. Let's see. So the Wraiths do 1-shot their drones if they all shoot instantly, but you can see if they don't, the drone is left with 1 HP left. Good micro from Koga. You see he picked off about 5 drones there. Lair done for Jaeyoon. Instantly gets Overlord speed, but you can see his economy is lacking. Koga even taking, adding that command center, not getting cloak. Don't really need cloak here if the Wraiths are just going to be bouncing in and out, because the Overlords are going to be in position and it's going to be hard for them. Actually, there's no Overlord in the main, so the cloak would have done a ton of damage there. But you can see they just really want to avoid the Hydras altogether. Cloak is a big investment, 150 minerals and gas. And Koga just playing it smart. Skipping cloak allows him to get faster command center, and Wraiths already did a ton of damage, not investing. Actually, he's gonna make more Wraiths now, getting 5th or 6th and 7th Wraiths with cloak. There's that eBay, second barracks already made, and he's floating up his command center to take his natural. He's kept Jaeyoon occupied during this time. Getting +1 on his Hydras and Lurkers. He is on 3 hatcheries, so he's able to drone up. Vulture here. Spotting if Jaeyoon ever tries to take that 3rd base. Wraiths flying into the main. Seeing Hydras are in position, just retreating instantly. Koga has been able to keep his Wraiths alive and healthy for the most part. There's a drone that was going to take at their base. Picks that off, loses 1 Wraith, but worth its trouble. +1 on the way, and the academy's done. So we're gonna see switch into bio from Koga. Now Jaeyoon should expect this. Players don't stay on race forever, so that's why he's getting Lurker. And Hydra Lurker does decently well against bio, but we're also gonna have some tanks mixed in with this army comp. Queen's Nest from Jaeyoon. 3rd is going up, and here come the Wraiths. Just really trying to pick off a drone here and there, not really. Another couple drones go down, and now 3rd drone goes down with this. 4th drone goes down. Drones are really bugging out here, not really sure why they're going behind the mineral line. More tanks being added around the medics so they can start gathering their energy. Only on 3 barracks, there's +1. Stim is being researched. Looks like Kogan's gonna build up his tank count as well. Looks like another drone could go down here. Another drone does go down. Koga been able to do a ton of damage with these initial Wraiths. He's only made 7 Wraiths, but they've done so much damage. He's gotta be careful there. Looks like he's gonna throw them away just to get another couple drones, realizing okay, these Wraiths no longer will provide value. But he's gonna follow this up with a very strong timing. He already has 4 tanks, gonna have 5 soon. Lots of bio. They're gonna have range. They're gonna have stim +1. Almost done. Jaeyoon meanwhile already has +1 on his Hydras, and he's gonna switch into Hydra Lurker. It's gonna be good against his bio push. 3rd gas going up for Jaeyoon as he goes into Hive. He's gonna need all the gas he can get. His economy is not where he wanted to be after all that Wraith harass he suffered. And here we go, the Lurkers are coming to defend this 3rd base. Koga is coming out. Jaeyoon does spot this army. He's got to be careful. Looks like the tanks siege, but they're sieging far forward. And Jaeyoon's able to get on top of these front tanks, picks off 2 instantly. 1 is unsieged, able to be pulled back, but Jaeyoon defends very easily there. Good initial skirmish for Jaeyoon, able to pick off 2 of the tanks, or maybe 3 of the tanks, I don't know. Koge, meanwhile, switching now into drops. Should have a science facility pretty soon. And here comes Jaeyoon trying to get on top of these tanks again. Bio has to be very careful against the lurkers. Can't really engage Hydro Lurker like it would Lurker Ling. And with that, Koge loses all of his tanks. He has 1 tank left over. Jaeyoon moving too far forward with those Hydralisks. Tank is able to shell these lurkers from afar, so Jaeyoon can't push any more forward with only 5 lurkers and 1 Hydra. The strength of this unit composition is the fact that if the Marines are retreating from the fight, the Hydras can pick them off easily. They're also very good against the tanks, and the lurkers are very good against the bio. Alright, there's a final ray from Koge. Gonna get another scout. Gonna see there's a 3rd gas. Drone's mining here. Might even get a drone. Nope, just retreats. Koge still kept his army far forward. He's got to be a little bit careful. Jaeyoon with the Defiler Mound, and I think Koget's in trouble here. His army's not looking that strong. +1 just finished. He's getting +1 armor, and he's going to get the first couple of vessels out. He's on 5 barracks, still producing tanks. Now, tanks are what you want against Hydro Lurker. You can see Jaeyoon has a ton of lurkers. This is a ridiculous number of lurkers. We're heading into the main. And actually, Jaeyoon's out of position here. Jaeyoon's out of position. Bio is heading towards his third. There's nothing at his third. Only 1 sunken. Lurkers are at his net. He's gonna deal with this drop, but he's committing all his units. In the meantime, I think Koget's just using this as a distraction, really. Dropship goes down, but look, now Koget's entire army is gonna go into Jaeyoon's third. Jaeyoon immediately pulls all the drones, but there's nothing left here to defend. And once Terran gets above this ramp, it's gonna be extremely hard for Jaeyoon to break with Hydro Lurker. Jaeyoon with a big mistake here. Not leaving any lurkers here, moving all his lurkers to deal with the drop. We already have the Defiler Mound, Hive, and the tech necessary for Swarm, but Jaeyoon's just moving out with lurkers. Not okay. Maybe this counter does something. We only have 1 bunker, 1 tank. SCV's coming to repair. Vessels are already here. Looks like we are gonna break down this bunker. Actually, none of the lurkers are burrowing. They're moving far forward, trying to cut off these SCVs from retreating. Some of the lurkers heading into the main. But this was very sloppy, and Jaeyoon GG's loses that third to just a move-in, and what a disaster. I'm left speechless. Looked like Jaeyoon was gonna win, and then all of a sudden, 1 dropship ends the game. Alright, with that, it's 1-1. And we're gonna go into set number 3 between True Touch and Striker with ZVZ. Hello Abby, hello Root Girl. Alright, it's gonna be a ZVZ on Neil Sylphid. I saw BSL Race Wars was going on. Someone tell me how that ended. Or if it's still going on. Alright, so it's the colors. In the 12 o'clock position. As the white Zerg, we have BSL True Touch from Poland. And in the bottom left, we have the American Zerg Striker 17. It's going to be a ZVZ on Neil Sylphid. And we already see True Touch is going to get the first scout, so this is important. Someone's saying DeWalt won. What did he win? Did he clean sweep? What did he do? Alright, Striker already spent his minerals, so he's not gonna go for a 9 pull. You can see True Touch is saving up. There's a pool being placed, and there's a gas from Striker, so it's likely going to be an overgas from Striker. Overgas against Night Pool can be just a huge advantage for the overgassing player. But Chuchach is going to get the first scout. There's the 9 gas, and now we're going to see a 9 pool from Striker as well. And Chuchach is going for 9 pool. It's going to be 9 pool speed, 9 pool air. We'll see. Now, the reason why Overgas is so strong against 9 pool is because you're going to have just a better economy. You won't have speedlings, but you'll have enough to defend from their speedlings, and then your lair timings will be fine. It's not like 12 pool where you're just going to have a much later lair. Striker sending a drone out. What is this? I don't know what this is. And it looks like Chucha is just going to go for a 9 pool speed. Nope, lair. 9 pool lair. Pulls 1 off gas. He's going to see Striker first. And he should know that this is going to be an overgas. But there's a lair from Striker as well. So look at their lair timings. Basically identical. And Chucha is just down 2 drones. He is making up for this by making drones. He does have the scouting advantage after all. Here, Striker sees Chuchach's first 6 lings. He won't know if it's 9 pool speed or lair quite yet. Here come the lings. But as you can see, he's going to have 6 by the time Chuchach gets here. If this were ling speed, then it could be a big threat if there were more links to follow us up. On top of that, this pool positioning is actually very exposed. You can see that it's hard for a Striker to come in and defend this. He really has to wrap around. Can't come out through the small concave. This choke is actually working against him here. Striker really struggling here. Chucha actually made 3 drones. So he's not going to be able to do much with these links. He's actually getting caught here. And Striker's speed finishes. And there's a spire from True Touch. All these 6 lings. Looks like they're trying to trade as best as they can. They actually do find decent engagement here with Striker's links getting caught, but just too many from Striker, and now Striker is moving out, forcing Chuchach into a sunken. This is pretty bad. And behind this, you can see he's just droning up himself, getting a spire as well. Let's look at their spire timings. Looks like Chuchach just about 20 ahead. Alright, good defense from Chuchach. This is going to be impossible to break through. But Striker didn't commit more links, played this smart. And now he has a very healthy drone saturation. He has 1 for every mineral patch compared to Chuchach's only 7. You can see Chuchach does have more gas. He didn't go for speed. But Striker actually taking an expansion here. Now normally this could be a little bit risky, but he does have the link speed and link speed against slow links. You can see how easy it is to micro around the slow links. Now Chuchach being forced to retreat is going to get caught. And Striker wins this fight convincingly. Now Chuchach is in big trouble. He's going to have mutas at the same time, but he's only going to be on 1 hatch. And while for now it's not going to factor in a couple minutes once Striker gets his natural setup, Chuchach is going to be in big trouble. Striker also has these links out on the map. Chuchach actually hit a couple, which is smart. Going to counter with these 2, but unfortunately just at the wrong time. And there we have the first few minutes cleaning up these links very easily. Striker retreating. There's a sunken here after all, and Chuchach's own mutas. There were revives. What kind of race wars is this? Striker playing defensively, using the links to scout. Chuchach only has 10 drones, and they're not actually mining that well. You can see there's 4 drones on 3 patches here. We have 3 patches being unmined. Muta's moving out. Let's look at the muta number. We have 5 mutas against Striker's 6. Striker even adding drones now, taking his second gas. He's going to have a huge gas advantage. TrueTouch does still have the gas advantage from the early game, but he's not able to use it with only one hatchery. We have some micro going down. Scourge connect. But we still have 6 Mutos versus 4. And now it's 6 Mutos versus 2, and Striker has the expansion. Morling's scouting what TrueTouch was up to, and now we have Striker moving in with the 6 Mutos. TrueTouch only has the 3. He's going to have 3 more popping out soon, but in the meantime, he's just able to pick off these gas drones for free. 7th Muto comes in. Even with bad micro, this is just a win. Alright, let's see. Here we go. We have 7 against 5. 8 against 5. And TrueTouch just goes in. Scourge trying to connect. But like I said, even with bad micro, it's just too much of an advantage now. Even picking off an Overlord. And actually with this, USA is going to be up 2-1 against Poland. Let's not call it a GG, but the Mutos are killing off the drone line. The last of TrueTouch's drones going down. We only have 1 Muto left. And with that, GG. So with that, we actually have USA up 2-1 against Poland. Now, last season in Nation Wars, Poland only actually lost once. And to guess who? USA. It was in the regular season, but Poland only lost once, and it was to the same team they're down against right now. Now, of course, you'd say they didn't have TrueTouch then, but they do now. But here we are. We're going to go into the 2v2 on Iron Curtain. Now on this map, I'm not really sure if ZZ is the strongest. Maybe if ZZ spawns, but actually I have no idea. I'm not even gonna pretend to know. Alright, let's see. Switch the colors. Get rid of this. So it looks like we have we have TrueTouch at top left, spawning on the same side as Striker. Actually, I don't know who this is. Yeah, this is Striker. And then we have Irish spawning at on the same side as Bonif. Now, I don't know who this favors. I think it favors Team Poland, because you're going to end up with a 1v1 on both sides. Let's see what Irish does. Now, they don't know where they are until these Overlords meet. Once these Overlords meet, now Iris realizes he's on the same side as Bonner. So let's see how that affects his decision. Looks like TrueTouch. He's going to go for a 9 pull again. Striker not going for a 9 pull. He's getting that Overlord first. Bonner making his pylon at the front. Important to wall off on this map. You can see probably going to make a gateway here. Not to let any links get in. And Irish is actually going to go for a hatch first. So this is hatch first play from Irish. Not an expansion, it seems like. No drone being sent out, and it looks like it's just going to be a 9 hatch. And here we have TrueTouch with the 9 pull. And Striker still no pull quite yet. But I doubt he'll go 12 hatch, seeing that TrueTouch went for a 9 pull himself. Bonif with the gateway, and no gas quite yet. Gonna get that scout. There's a pull from Striker. Is he gonna go for gas or hatchery? Both Zerg players get the full scout. And here's the gas from Bonif. Now Bonif is going to go gas against the Zerg that's going to go mass lings. He is going to have a choke that's pretty easy to defend, but he's just not going to have that many units. Now, of course, neither player can help their ally. This map is split off in the middle. This is unpassable by ground. You see these mineral patches and terrain will keep the players separated until they have air units. And here's Striker trying to take his natural expansion. So on one side we have a 9 pull versus 12 pull. TrueTouch is getting speed first this time. And we have Bonif going for a very fast Cybernetics core. And now he's not even making a Zealot before Cybernetics core. So this is really fast tech. but he's not going to have any units. He's going to see Zerg going for a 9 hatch. Zerg is going to have really fast link production with this second hatchery. You have the first 8 links being made. Irish. It's only going to get 100 for gas, I'm pretty sure. And here comes True Touch with the links. And Striker already pulling off a couple drones. So he's going to have 2 drones with these 6 links. True Touch is going to have the faster speed. Here we go, Irish. Gonna get 100 gas, and we see him gonna start to pull off. Here we go. And there we go. We have 8 links versus 6. But again, True Touch's speed is gonna finish any second, and once the speed finishes, it's gonna be a lot harder for Striker to defend this. We have him dancing. Looks like True Touch's speed is done. And now is when this fight starts to look differently. Looks like we have the drones helping out at the front, getting some damage hit, or some damage done with their spitting. True Touch moving in, using the speed advantage, and these links are now in the main. They're in the middle line, targeting the drones, pulling a full pull. Striker desperately waiting for his speed to get finished. True Touch has links at the front, hitting this egg. Looks like he's exposing the lack of speed from Striker's own Zerglings, and he's just moving around, targeting this egg instantly, so these links will be targeted once they finish. Looks like the links at the net just pop on and get killed, but now Striker bringing his links back. Just keeps running around. He is going for lair after all. And looks like Bonify missed this completely. It's impossible to cast. We had the links target the gateway, but Bonif with the cannon and the shield battery just barely holds off. Each dollar has 1 kill. True Touch with a pool, and with the Spire and a creep colony going down, a Striker or Irish actually it's only made links. He's continuing with the link production, not making any other units. And Bonif realizing this, just making that fast second cannon. This wall can regenerate. Shield batteries don't regenerate buildings, so he has to be a little bit careful that these links hit target and run in. And here's Striker, but another link counter from True Touch leaves Striker extremely weakened. Only 5 drones from him. True Touch is only on 7 himself, but he's gonna have a Spire. And in the meantime, Bonif is actually getting Corsairs, and now the Corsairs are actually gonna just end this game. I think neither Zerg players are prepared to deal with this. Irish targeting the wall, trying to get this wall killed. Probes have already been killed preemptively, and now you can see how easy it is for Bonif to defend with 2 cannons. And then we have the first Corsair already out. Striker able to get enough Zerglings to push True Touch back. And he actually killed the Spire. He might have targeted that down earlier, but it doesn't matter. Don't need Spire when Bonif already has Corsair, and you see both Zerg players are still on just hatchery tech. Now Irish has a bunch of Zerglings that are pretty much useless. Can't get to the other side of the map to help Striker kill True Touch, and can't kill Bonif. Here comes Bonif's Corsair. It's getting even more. Corsair is getting +1 on ground and air. And Bonif being the only player who can affect both sides of the map is just making Poland have a big advantage here. Both Zerg players have committed to stay on Zerglings. The counterattack from True Touch with those links weakens Striker enough that he can never transition out of just making Zerglings. And we have the Corsair with 2 Overlord kills already. Another Corsair being made, and I think it's just Team USA is about ready to tap out here. Trying their best to kill True Touch. If they could kill True Touch, then it would be a 2v1, and maybe they could come back in that position. But unable to kill True Touch, and Striker taps out. You can see another Overlord was about to be lost. And GG. Alright, with that, we are 2-2 now. And we're going to head into the next set. It's going to be Bonif against Hawk. Now, unfortunately, this set wasn't played, and it was a walkover win for Poland. Hawk never responded or showed up at the scheduled time. So Poland is actually going to be up 3-2. We're heading into the final set, which is going to be Ziggy against Boa on Polypoid. If Boa can win, then we'll have another ace match. And the ace match is always the same as the first map, so it's going to be on Eclipse. So let's head into the set. Boa against Ziggy. Whoops. Here we go. Man, these colors are killing me. As a purple Terran in the top left position, we have the Polish player Ziggy. And in the bottom left, as the brown Protoss from USA, we have Boa White. Boa White, new player to Nation Wars and the foreign scene, but he did play in NW2 and he got to the quarterfinals where he lost to the eventual winner Crossy. Recently played in that Rogue Gallery show match where he won 3-0 against Striker, and I've seen him laddering for BSL around 23-2400. Someone says predict 2-fact. Now I have some information on this game. Before this game was played, like way before, Sugo, the USA captain, played against Ziggy in, I think it was the BSL Nation Wars event. So BSL 9 had a Nation Wars event where Poland won, and the key set ended up being USA against Poland, Sugo against Ziggy, where Sugo lost to Ziggy's 2-fact. And now after that, everyone was like, Sugo, how can you lose to Ziggy's 2-fact? Ziggy always goes 2-fact. So I'm pretty sure Sugo relayed this information to Boa and just told him, hey, he's gonna go 2-fact, so just prepare for that. Boa, being a new player in the foreign scene, wouldn't have that information, so there we go. We have the gas going on for Boa and the gas going out for Ziggy, going for 12 gas, so this looks like standard play from both players. No scout from Boa. There's the SCV heading out for Ziggy. He's going to scout, and Boa delaying his scout. It's either going to be after core or not at all. Looks like it's going to be after core. Sending 3 on gas. Are we going to see a Zealot from Boa? Looks like we are seeing a Zealot. You can see he's cutting a probe to get the Zealot out fast. We're going to get a probe, and then we're probably going to see a pylon here from Boa. This Zealot will provide some utility in the early game against any kind of pressure from Terran, and it's also just good to have to force Terran into forcing some things they don't want to do, like make more Marines. Micro. Alright, there's Ziggy. Gonna make that factory. Now this factory, is it gonna be over here? This is way far away from his SimCity, but I don't think you can actually SimCity on this map like you'd want. Can't make an add-on in that position. Hello TT1. Did I fix the marker on the screen? Yeah, it's 3-2. Hawk didn't play against Bonif, just gave the walkover. There's the first factory from Ziggy, but you can see he's not pulling off gas, so already gonna see a second factory any second now. But he's gonna have to keep producing Marines because of this one Zealot from Boa. 2 Marines, not enough to deal with Zealot even with SimCity, so here comes that 3rd Marine. And these Marines are gonna delay his factory timing significantly. We have the Dragoon already heading out, and Boa getting in, sees that first factory, still doesn't see the second factory. If he can just get in vision of the gas and see there's still 3 on gas, he'll know. Here comes the first Vulture. Actually has a second Vulture queued up, and this is a mistake. He really wants to get that factory down. Let's see. There's a second factory. Boa actually sees that second factory, so he already knows what's up. Zealot only has a 1 kill, but still has enough shields. There we have the first Vulture. Now this Vulture has to get to ramp ASAP. Gotta target the Zealot. Zealot should be priority, not the Goon. Zealot does more damage. Looks like Dragoon is actually way ambitious, getting all the way in. Alright, giving up this 1 Dragoon is actually pretty painful against a 2-fact. Vulture doesn't even die, gonna get out on the map. I see the second Dragoon looks like he's gonna pick it off. Dragoon with the same range as the Marines can't kite. And the Dragoon goes down, but the second Dragoon does get the Vulture. And I would normally say this is pretty bad for Boa to lose that Dragoon like that, but he does at least know it's going to be a 2-fact. I mean, he probably knew before the game, but now he definitely knows. Second Dragoon at the front, has to be careful, not retreating. Ziggy getting a little block, manages to get about a quarter of the damage done from the shield. One of the Marines gets picked off, the second Marine gets picked off, and now Boa retreats. Now Boa's following this up with a second gateway and a Robo and a Citadel. Actually, no Robo, just a Citadel. 2-gate Citadel. And Ziggy is two-facting after all. Here we have him getting vulture speed. Speed does take longer than mines, so that's why you always see the research of mines after speed. Ziggy continuing to produce marines. Already has one tank, second and third on the way. And there we have the Robo and, I mean, this is just the Robo and the Citadel from Boa. Waiting for that 200 gas. There's the Archive. You have pylons at the front, so I mean, this is curious because Ziggy's gonna come in with this 2-fact, but this is very, very, very heavy investment into one base play. I mean, it's only 4 Dragoons, and he's actually making Zealots here because he's not gonna have any gas at all to make DTs if he keeps making Dragoons. There's a Vulture speed already done for Ziggy. Mines are on the way. Alright, here we go. We're waiting for Ziggy. Ziggy's gonna get here. See no expansion. There's a shuttle already in production. We have 2 DTs on the way. Do we have an eBay? Siege is being researched. No eBay from Ziggy. We have mines to stop any kind of DTs from the ground. We have the high ground. No siege quite yet. Siege is almost done. Ziggy really pressing forward here. The 2 Zealots providing a ton of utility. Just tanking a ton of shots from tanks, vultures, and marines. We have a 3rd pylon being added, but these pylons are actually going to hurt Boa. But there we go. The shuttle's out. First DT is out. And without any kind of eBay, there's the eBay just now starting. With 1 DT, he should be able to hold this off easily. No mines being laid in front of these tanks, so just going to go straight. Oh! Ah! Oh, huge mine detonates. Gets all the vultures in one of the tanks. DT does die, but the remaining Dragoons are able to kill off that 1 tank. While making more DTs. Alright, shuttle took a weird path, and it might actually allow at least one of these turrets to finish. Here we have the vulture laying mines. These mines could be dragged into the Marrow line if Bo's paying attention. What is he doing? No, looks like he backs off. That could have been a huge move there. Gonna go to the Nazi, no expansion, and now he's just gonna smile. Couple more DTs in the back. 3rd gateway, actually observatory, and he just expands. This DT at the ramp is going to keep Ziggy contained, can't move out, doesn't have any vision. He's going to try to mine move out, but you can see he just moves him back slightly. This DT can actually take 2 mines as well. There's a mine being laid. Not in range. This mine is in range, and DT just gets picked up. Ziggy's actually getting a starport. You need some kind of anti-air to deal with this shuttle because just turrets alone will be picked off as they're building. And without any anti-air, the DT will just be picked up and dropped. Ziggy can't expand in this position. There's the EB floating just to get some scouting. And more tanks being made by Ziggy. But the tanks actually don't help at all here. Not gonna help him expand, and he can't attack either. This is a good position to go scouts. We actually have a science facility being added from Ziggy. So this is 1 base. 1 base what? I mean, these are a ton of tanks. He's gonna have enough gas for 1 science facility. I mean, for 1 science vessel. 2nd gas instantly from Boa. No clear follow-up from Ziggy. We have a Wraith being made, so okay, the Wraith is gonna ward off the shuttle finally. Okay, this is actually a scary moment for Ziggy. Has to be careful with these mines. Doesn't have any detection quite yet, so these DTs can get on top of his tanks. Looks like we had a small vulture counterattack, but Boa's ready for that. DT dropped on the tanks. We have 3 DTs. Pick off 2 of the siege tanks. Ziggy being forced back into his base, further back into his base. DT trying to get set up here, or turret to stop these DTs. Oh, DT's walking to mines. Looks like we have another mine. Bo has to be careful here. He's really committing. This is not going to end well. Does get out another tank, but now he doesn't have any DTs. Looks like the vultures didn't do much. Wraith kills the shuttle. We still have the science facility, not really sure for what. And after the fire clears, looks like Bo is still just way ahead, even though he threw away 3 DTs that shuttle. He was able to get 3 tanks. And he's still on 2 base versus 1 after all. Scouts to pick off the vessel. There is finally that 10-minute command center from Ziggy. Still no academy, no way to get any scouting. Just gonna rely on vessel for detection. Another shuttle being made, and now I'm gonna load these with zealots. No more DTs. We're just trying to deny this probe from taking that 3rd base, and looks like just before this vessel finishes, we have Ziggy leave the game. No GG. Alright, so we're tied at 3-3. Let's look at the matchups and go over. 0 lost to Raz, 1-0. I mean, these are all best of ones. Koget beat Jaeyoon with 2-port Wraith that just did a ton of damage. Not initially, just over the game throughout. True Touch went 9-pull against Overgas and just got... just didn't do enough damage with the 9-pull. Striker was able to end up way ahead in the mid game. The 2v2 was pretty one-sided as well. The Zerg players from USA were on opposite sides. And Bonif just ended up way ahead on his side, and Striker wasn't able to kill True Touch. Bonif didn't play against Hawk. It was a walkover win. Hawk didn't show up, and then that left us with this game where Bo beat Ziggy. So now ace match. Predict who plays the ace. Predict who plays the ace. Let's see if anyone can get it. Alright, predictions. Alright, we have Boa versus Bonus Center 2 gate. That's TT1's prediction. Anyone else? Do we have any Ziggy versus Sugo rematches from BSL 9 Nation Wars? Anyone? Oh, the map is Eclipse. The map is Eclipse. Every ace match is going to be whatever the first map is on that week. This week was Eclipse. Alright, no one else predicts anything. Alright, but TT1 was correct. It is Bonnet versus Boa on Eclipse. We have in the top spawn as the orange Protoss, Boa white from Team USA. And in the bottom left as the green Protoss from Poland, Bonnet. Now Bonnet, last season in Nation Wars, never lost his matchup. Now in the playoffs, he did lose 1 game to Castro, rest in peace. But every single time he went up, he won. We have a newcomer in Boa. Let's see if he can get anything done. It is PvP. If it's going to be one matchup Bonif loses, I think it might be PvP. Alright. Map is Eclipse. 2-player map. Lots of ramps in the middle of the map. Naturals are also pretty hard to hold. The opposing player can get a much better concave, kind of like Sofid. You can see if a Dragoons are positioned like this, it's very hard to break out of. We saw this coming into play. I think it was DeWalt against Boa in yesterday's BSO tournament, where DeWalt had a massive contain on Boa, and Boa just couldn't break out efficiently. Maybe a Bonif with the Gateway Scout, while delaying his scout. Gas from Bonif. And gas from Boa. And Boa with the gas scout. Slightly later scout from Ball, not really gonna affect play. What's really gonna determine this game, I think it's gonna be the Dragoon control. Dragoon Reaver. Core from Bonif instantly, and Ball as well. So no player going for Zealots first. Now Bonif could get a juicy mana pylon here. We see 2 patches here. Oh, he's going for it. There it is. Now this is already pretty painful for Boa. Even if Bonif decides not to cancel it, the lost 100 minerals is well worth it when you get to trap 2 probes right off the bat. Now, Boa can trick these out, no problem, but just having this pylon here means you can't mine from these 2 patches. Forces Boa to get a Zealot. Even if Boa didn't want to get a Zealot, now he has to. Really need to kill this pylon as soon as possible. You can see he actually got a little bit flustered by this pylon. He delayed his own. Bonif skipping Zealot altogether, just going straight for Dragoon. Pylon does go down, but I think it was well worth it. Probe still alive for Boa. No Dragoon from... Probe still alive for Bonif. No Dragoons out quite yet. At around 310, you should start retreating that probe, knowing that Dragoon is going to pop out and pick off your probe. Here comes Boa. Is he going to retreat? Nope. Just lingered around a little bit longer, just to see what Bonif was up to. And I guess that's fair too. Bonif, meanwhile, just retreats before that Dragoon comes out. Boa's Dragoon was quite delayed, but Bonif didn't know that. There we go. Boa's probe dies, and now let's see what Bonif is going to do. Is he going to get a Robo instantly? There's that Robo from Bonif and Boa as well. So still mirror builds. Boa did suffer a little bit of economic damage. He went for Core Zealot. On top of that, he got supply blocked, and he's already down 4 probes. Not really sure how that happened. There's a Robo from Bonif. And let's see if either player is going to follow up with more gateways, or it's just going to be a standard play. Boa does have this 1 Zealot. Bonif has to be careful. Can't really engage 2 Dragoons, 1 Zealot with 2 Dragoons. This is more for a scout than anything else. Bonif takes damage on 1 Dragoon. This is actually pretty important. And Bonif is actually following this up with 3 gateways. So this is going to be 3 gateway obs from Bonif. Boa, meanwhile, second gateway being added. I've seen Bonif start to mix in this build a lot more frequently. And there's the observatory from Bonif. While leaving his units out in the middle of the map. Could be a little bit risky. Pylon just finishes for Bonif, and now he's going to get 3 more Dragoons. He's going to have 7 Dragoons total. Well, it's only on 1 gateway production. Second gateway just finishes. He's also going to get Observers. Both players kind of play in the dark. Don't want to risk dying to Reaver or DT, so you need to get that Observer. While still adding Dragoons, and there's his Reaver. So he's going to have faster Reaver than Bonif. But using that Zealot, I think it got far enough to see that there was no expansion and 4 Dragoons. Now this 4 Dragoon number is not a giveaway at all, basically, because Bonif was on a 1 gateway until now, so he would have 4 Dragoons no matter what at that point. Four Dragoons versus Bonif is 7, and now Boa is in big trouble if he remains in this position. Observer didn't go out to keep scouting. He's gonna have 5 Dragoons, but the Reaver is actually way far back. This looks like it was gonna be... Okay, Bonif taking the opportunity to pounce on Boa's Dragoons, forcing Boa back. Boa getting another round of shots in, but it's actually gonna expose him and gonna lose another Dragoon and the Observer. He's gonna be fine. He's gonna be able to defend with this Reaver, but he's not gonna be able to take his expansion. Bonif lost 1 Dragoon to Boa's 2 or 3, and now Bonif made even more Dragoons. He's gonna cut Dragoons now to get his expansion up. Not going to be able to break ball, so it doesn't make sense to keep making Dragoons. And he's going to get Reavers of his own. Ball forced to make another Observer. Having lost his, the Observer will allow him to better deal with Boniface's Contain. He's able to kill Boniface's Observer as well, if he can just get on top. Bonif moving in. Oh, this could be the moment he's targeting the Reaver. Let's look how the missed chances. Oh, just barely moves it back in time. This Contain has done its job. Here we have another Observer from Bonif. And boy again loses the Observer. Now Bonif is going to have to eventually leave this position, but he's giving himself a ton of time to get his expansion up, get his Reavers out. He's even getting a 4th gateway. He's going to have way more production than Boa. The probe count has evened up. You can see Bonif hasn't been making probes in this time. But because he's going to have 2 Nexus, his probes are going to be better distributed. He's going to have more economy. It's like Boa shuttled out some Dragoons and he's going to be able to break out. Bonif should be leaving this position. He's going to target that low HP Reaver. Oh, he gets that Reaver. That's just the player Bonif is. He gets the most value out of his units. And so now, let's look. This would have been the opportunity for Boa to go out with a timing with the shuttle and 2 Reavers, and Bonif defending with 2 Reavers of his own, but without the shuttle. But now he can't do that. He only has 1 Reaver. Just expanding on his own, but he's just going to be behind on economy. And he's giving Bonif time to get out his own shuttle. And once Bonif has a shuttle, there's no advantage for Boa. Looks like Boa wants to wait for another Reaver to come out, but he's just giving Bonif too much time. Four gateways for Bonif, still only 2 for Boa. He's adding the 3rd gateway now. He's natural. He's gonna start mining soon. Bonif sees the move out, retreats its Dragoon at the front. These were just here to maybe catch Boa off guard. But we see now Bonif has his own shuttle with 2 Reavers in it. 3rd and 4th gateways going up for Boa, but Bonif already has his. 2nd gas for Bonif as well. And Boa's expansion finishing up now. Bonif has mined about 200 at each mineral patch. So it's a significant advantage for Bonif actually in economy. It's about 1,000 minerals mined more for Bonif. You can see the probe counts are even, but look at the supply counts. And here we go. It's going to come down to Reaver control. This is holdable with superior Reaver control, but all things considered equal, I think Boa is in big trouble. He's actually getting caught off guard. First Scarab goes on his Reaver, shuttles out of position, able to pick up that Reaver, but now the 2nd Reaver is very low on health. Bonif getting a ton of Scarab shots off, and Boa is just caught out of position there. Units spread out, Reaver's exposed, shuttle exposed, and it's just easier to control your units when you're on the aggressive end, and with that, looks like Boa's going to lose his natural. Alright, so just before that, looks like no GG. Boa did type GG, but this was an allied chat. This is Bonif replay, so that's why you don't see it. With that, Poland wins 4-3.
Si te gustó este video, no olvides darle like. Y si aún eres nuevo y aún no te suscribes, te invitamos a hacerlo y a darle clic a la campanita. Recuerda que todos los días viernes estaremos subiendo nuevas guías y nuevo material, todo en relación con Starcraft remasterizado. Hasta la próxima, amigos.